Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something many little people, big world fans didn't expect. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek have officially separated. For years, they've been a couple many fans looked up to, especially after everything Amy went through with her first marriage. So when this news came out, it really surprised a lot of people. Let's go through how it happened, what we know, and where things stand now. Amy and Chris's story began shortly after Amy's divorce from Matt Roloff. At that time, Amy was rediscovering her independence. She had been married to Matt for nearly 30 years. They raised 4 children, built a family business, and of course, starred on a hit reality show together. But eventually, their relationship came to an end, and it was tough for Amy. She shared a lot of her struggles openly on the show. After the divorce, she wasn't really sure if she wanted to date again. But then she met Chris Marek, and things started to change. Chris wasn't part of the entertainment world. He was a real estate agent, and he seemed to bring a calm, kind energy to Amy's life. They started dating in 2016 and got engaged in 2019. Fans were so happy for her. She looked joyful and relaxed with Chris, and it felt like she had a fresh start. They got married in August 2021 at Roloff Farms, and many of their family and friends were there. The wedding was featured on the show and was a really special moment. It symbolized new beginnings. For the first year or so, things seemed to go well. They traveled together, appeared on social media together, and continued filming the show. But in the last year or so, some fans noticed that something felt different. Amy started posting more solo photos. Chris didn't appear in as many videos or interviews. There were some small things that at first people didn't think much of. But over time, the rumors began to grow. At one point, Amy made a business move that got people talking. She updated some paperwork for her food and lifestyle brand, and Chris's name wasn't included. That might not sound like a big deal, but for fans who follow closely, it seemed like a sign that something might be going on behind the scenes. Still, neither Amy nor Chris said anything publicly. They both stayed quiet. That's when people really started to speculate. Some thought they were just taking time apart, or maybe they were dealing with private issues and didn't want to bring it onto the show or social media. Others thought maybe they had quietly ended things but weren't ready to make a public statement yet. And then, after months of silence, the news finally came out. Amy and Chris confirmed that they have officially separated. They haven't shared all the details, and that's understandable. This is their personal life, and while they've been open with fans for many years, they also deserve privacy during a difficult time. From what we know so far, the decision was mutual. They've both said kind things about each other, and it doesn't sound like there was any kind of big argument or betrayal. Sometimes, people just grow apart. Marriage, especially later in life, comes with its own challenges. They came from very different backgrounds, and even though they tried to make it work, sometimes love just isn't enough. Amy has always been someone who values connection, tradition, and family. She's also very independent and has worked hard to build her own brand, write books, and host events. Chris, on the other hand, has always been a little more private. Maybe their differences just became too hard to balance. It's also possible that being on reality TV played a role. Being in the spotlight puts pressure on any relationship. Every moment is watched, every absence is noticed, and people have strong opinions. That can wear down even the strongest couple. What's important to know is that Amy and Chris are handling things with maturity and respect. There's no public drama, no nasty posts, no blame games. Just 2 people who tried to make it work and now are choosing to go their separate ways. Amy has already started focusing on the next chapter. She's spending more time with friends, planning events, and focusing on her passions like cooking, writing, and speaking. She also continues to be involved with her children and grandkids. It's clear that her family is still a big part of her life. Chris, too, seems to be doing his own thing. While he's not very active on social media, sources say he's still working in real estate and spending time outdoors, which he's always loved. They may not be together anymore, but there's no sign of bitterness between them. Fans have been leaving messages of support, especially for Amy. Many people relate to her journey, starting over later in life, trying again, and dealing with the ups and downs of love. She's always been honest with her viewers, and that's one of the reasons people care so much about her. It's never easy to see a couple you root for go their separate ways. But sometimes, separation can be the healthiest choice. What matters is how people move forward, with dignity, care, and hope for the future. That's exactly what Amy and Chris seem to be doing. As fans, we can respect their choice, support them both, and wish them the best as they enter new chapters in their lives. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe they'll continue to appear on the show separately. Maybe they'll each find happiness in different ways. Only time will tell. If you've been watching Little People, Big World for years, then this update might come as a surprise, and maybe even a bit of a disappointment. Amy Roloff recently shared some news that has fans asking the big question, is Little People, Big World canceled? So what's really going on? Is the show officially over? Are the Roloffs done with reality TV? Let's talk about it. For those who don't know, Little People, Big World has been on air since 2006. That's almost 20 years of watching the Roloff family go through life, growing up, getting married, having kids, running their farm, and facing challenges, just like any other family. But of course, their story stood out because it gave viewers a closer look at what it's like to live with dwarfism and how it affects everyday life. Fans connected with them in a real way. Over the years, the cast has changed. Some family members left the show, and others stepped into the spotlight. We've seen Matt and Amy Roloff go through a divorce, move on with new relationships, and we've watched their kids start families of their own. It's been a long journey, and fans have been there through all of it. But recently, Amy Roloff shared a comment that got people talking. She said that there are no future plans for more episodes of Little People, Big World. Now, she didn't exactly say the show is officially canceled, but the way she said it makes it sound like the show is at least on pause or maybe done for good. That one little statement has sparked a lot of speculation. Some fans are hopeful that maybe the show will come back later, maybe with a new spin or special episodes. Others think this really is the end. And honestly, after so many years on air, it wouldn't be that surprising if the family is ready to move on. Let's look at some of the possible reasons behind this news. First, the family has changed a lot. Zach and Tori, for example, have taken a step back from the show. They've made it clear that they want more privacy for their kids, and they've been focusing on their own lives off camera. They still share updates online, but it's not the same as being followed by a full camera crew. Jeremy and Molly left the show years ago. Jacob also left, and he's been very vocal about his feelings toward reality TV. He's talked about how the show affected him and how he prefers to live a more private life now. So, with many of the younger Roloffs stepping away, that leaves just Matt and Amy as the main faces of the show. And while fans still love seeing them, it's clear that the show isn't what it used to be. Another factor could be that the story has kind of run its course. We've seen the big moments: weddings, births, farm drama, family arguments, and now things are quieter. The farm was a major part of the show, but now with the property being split up and parts of it sold, that storyline is kind of wrapping up too. There's also the fact that Amy and Matt both have new lives now. Amy is married to Chris, and Matt is engaged to Karen. They're building new chapters, and maybe they just want to do that outside of the spotlight. Amy also hinted that doing the show for so long has been a lot. She said in a live stream that she's grateful for the experience, but it's taken a lot of time and energy over the years. And honestly, after almost 2 decades, it's understandable that they might want to slow down. So, is the show officially canceled? Well, as of now, TLC hasn't made an official announcement saying it's over. There's been no press release, no final episode farewell. But with Amy saying there are no future plans, that's a pretty strong signal that the show isn't coming back anytime soon. Fans are, of course, reacting in different ways. Some are sad. They feel like they grew up with this family. They tuned in every season to see what was happening at Roloff farms or to check in on their favorite family members. Others say the show has changed a lot and maybe it's time for it to end. Some fans think it lost its spark when the whole family wasn't involved anymore. A few even said the storylines felt repetitive or forced in the last few seasons. Still, there's no denying the impact the show has had. Little People, Big World was one of the first reality shows to really shine a light on what it's like to live with dwarfism. It helped people understand the challenges, but also showed that the Roloffs are just like any other family, with ups and downs, good days and bad days. Amy Roloff said she's thankful for the fans and for everything the show brought to their lives. She didn't rule out doing other projects in the future, but for now, it looks like this chapter is coming to a close. And honestly, that's okay. Every show has its time. This one just lasted longer than most. The Roloffs may no longer be on weekly TV, but they're still sharing parts of their lives on social media. Amy often does live videos and shares updates with her followers. Matt posts about the farm and his future wedding plans. And Zach and Tori still post family photos and videos just on their own terms now. Thanks for watching. If you're a fan of Little People, Big World, leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on Amy and Chris's separation? Did you see it coming? Or were you surprised like so many others? And most of all, let's keep things kind in the comments. Relationships are complex, and they both deserve support during this time.